This whole group went through a pandemic. They lost their high school season. They didn't play at all last year. They had to recreate themselves.
What you're seeing is the best versus the best.
We're the best guys, hands down, and I stand by that for sure.
1, 2, 3, 5, time!
That one's crushed to left field. Toward the wall it goes! East wins the perfect game All-American Classic, and they do it with a no-hitter in this legendary game.
What I tell you? What I tell you?
More great memories of the perfect game All-American Classic, and it's time for a perfect game update. Hi there, folks. My name is Daron Sutton, and simply put, we're going to introduce you to the East roster of the 21st Perfect Game All-American Classic. I've had the good fortune now of being behind the microphone for the last 15 years. Can't wait to get to Chase Field and do it again on August the 20th. It should be spectacular. Along the way, as we get to meet the East roster, the great scouts and writers Brian Sikowski, who serves as one of my analysts all the time, alongside David Ronsley, who sits on the booth with Hunter Pence for the All-American Classic. They'll both weigh in and give some insights on some of the key players. But you came here, you stopped by here, you want to hear the names, so let's go. We'll introduce you and start with the pitchers. On the East side, he stands 6'3", he's a Tennessee commit. Tegan Kuhns is out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania area high school, plays for the Canes national team. This is a big spin rate guy, 2,900 spin on the slider. Dead changeup, by the way, about 1,600 on the changeup. Lazaro Calero is a PG All-American, standing 6'5", out of Florida Christian High School. He's a Miami commit. He touched 98 at PG National. Here's a guy who really jumped in the rankings. Jake Yeager is a PG All-American. Check out those new rankings on perfectgame.org. He was hanging around the 500 mark. Odenton, Maryland is where he is from. Archbishop Spalding, he is a Maryland commit. He was the 164th ranked right-handed pitcher. Then he went and threw 95 in national. By the way, with a bat in his hands, an exit velocity of 97. Yeg, welcome to the All-American Classic. Braden Krenzel, really good bloodlines, we'll explain. We'll tell you he is a Tennessee commit. He's from Dublin, Ohio. Dublin Jerome High School. He touched a 94 at national. His dad, Craig, football fan, are you? You remember that Ohio State team that won the 02 national championship? Dad was the quarterback of that team. And wrapping up a little bit of a portion of this roster on the mound, 6 feet 6 inches, Chase Mobley, Florida State commit, Durant High School from Plant City, Florida. Twice he was a Select Festival team member. As a matter of fact, this is a man since 2019 who has added 21 miles an hour to his fastball. He always plays to honor his dad, Gene, who he lost during COVID. He has grown, he has developed. Brian Sikowski, take it from here, he will.
It's always been this long, lanky righty with a fast arm, present stuff. You know, he's always been a higher ranked guy in this class as we moved along. But now that you start to see the physicality coming, he started to add some broadness to the shoulders. There's some build in his chest and in his legs. And now it's 93, 96. Now the slider has more teeth to it. It's projecting out the way we always thought it would. But when you see that projection hit, when you see that start to come together, especially on a stage like this, that's what we're looking for. That's why we're here.
Landon Victorian, we add him to the roster. He is an LSU commit. He's at Barb High School. Glenn Caccini, his head coach. No surprise. Now, maybe a bit more of a surprise, Joey Oki. He's out of Iowa. Joey Oki is a PG All-American. Nate Taylor, Buford High School, Flowery Branch, Georgia. Nate Taylor deserving certainly to be a PG All-American. Skylar Sanford as well. St. Augustine, Florida. He's a Florida commit. He's celebrating at Cantina Louie. That's one of my favorite places in the St. Aug area. Talon Bell was amazing. He was a part of the team for Power Baseball that won the recent 17U WWBA. He did it all. He's out of Haggerty High School. William Schmidt, Catholic High School, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Mississippi State commit. This is an athlete that plays for Knights Nation now. This is a spin doctor. 3,100 spin rate on that slider. Here are some insights from our great director of player personnel, the VP on that behalf. Here's David Ronzi.
I first saw William Schmidt at the All-American Underclass at UCSD last year, and boy, that breaking ball was awesome. Talking 78, 3,100 RPMs, huge 12 to 6 action. A major league swing and miss pitch right now. And he combines that with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that has 22 inches of vertical induced rise, carry to it. The curveball is 18 down. The fastball is 22 up. That's 40 inches of verticality on his pitches. That's incredible.
So Brian talking about a famous name as a prospect, this next name is famous because of his brother, though I'm guessing that's changing. When we speak of Akil Namala, he has fought his way up to become a perfect game All-American, the Central Florida commit. His brother Arjun was a first-round pick and a PG All-American, still 17 years old. Aiden Harris is a Virginia commit. He's at Pro Development Group. He's from Midlothian, Virginia. We knew him when he was a young guy. 2 times a Select Festival athlete. Welcome, Aiden Harris. Welcome, Cade Brown, a Georgia commit. His dad, Chan, is the legendary high school coach at Parkview. Florida State commit Miles Bailey from Lincoln High School in Tallahassee, Florida. And everybody loves the catchers. Let's talk about him. Levi Clark, a Tennessee commit from Walton High School in Marietta, Georgia. Drew Rogers just moved to Arizona from Minnesota. Then there's Hunter Carnes. You have no idea how difficult it is to homer 2 times at the Perfect Game National Showcase in a single game because you're facing a closer type every time out. Hunter did it. David Ronzi talks about the athlete and the catcher that is Hunter Carnes.
Yeah, we were literally 5 minutes before Hunter Carnes hit a ball in the left field stands talking about All-American catchers, who's going to be on the team. And I had said, hey, I'm a Hunter Carnes guy. He's a 6'4" runner, highly athletic, and I think that highly athletic catcher is a thing that's going to become much more prominent in Major League Baseball and in the scouting circles. And we are literally talking about catchers. He goes yard. It's almost like he heard us talking and say, let me add another little note to my resume here. But a high energy player, very athletic, and to see the power, that was just a bonus.
Now the outfield, and it's hard to believe that Noah Franco's an uncommitted athlete, but then again, that means he holds all the cards, and there's nothing Noah Franco can't do. Same for Michael Mullinex. Switch hitter, by the way. North Cobb Christian, he ran a 6.3 60 at PG National. Caden Lopez is out of Oviedo High School in Orlando, Florida. He's an Ole Miss commit. When he pitches, can touch 93 miles an hour. And then there's the growth and evolution of PJ Morlando, which just is happening before our eyes. As a matter of fact, he just wrapped being a part of Major League Baseball's Home Run Derby, where guys like Vlad were watching him hit, and he won it. PJ's a South Carolina commit. He is out of South Carolina. Canes National, his travel team, at the 17U. 15 hits, 2 home runs, a 600 on base. Now, we talked about maybe being a little bit more anonymous. That's where he was when we caught up with him last year, a year ago, at Perfect Game's Junior National Showcase. But listen to his presence in this feature. Hard to believe that this was a young man that was just a couple of years into high school, because he talks like, in this feature that's more than a year old, like he's on his way to the big leagues. And it might be the case.
This is PJ Morlando.
As soon as I stepped on the national platform, I mean, that's something that you just dream of. You know, you're fighting for what you deserve as your spot in the country, and you're playing against kids who love and respect the game as much as you do. You know, it's a great time to show what you have and show the scouts, of course, what your talents are. That's just an event for Warriors. That's something crazy that you don't get to experience, and that's something that's crazy that a sophomore or a freshman at that time was going up and playing against the top seniors in the country. First at bat, you see a Duke commit throwing 96 to 98 lefty, projected first-round draft pick. That's something you don't really see every day. I was a little nervous, you know, I had to own my own ground, and I just went up there and just tried to do what I do. You know, I tried to relax a little bit. It took me a game to get used to it, though, you know. Going into the second game, I was way more relaxed. I was going up there knowing what I could do. My dad was in the military. He's a big push-up, sit-up, pull-up guy. He was a master sergeant in the Air Force. He was into 20 years, moved around a lot, and that obviously impact of where I lived, who I talked to, different cultures, languages even. So I think it was the best thing that ever really happened to me. It's a good thing to look up to. Everything that he did for this country, fought for our freedom. So, you know, going into school knowing that my dad fights for my freedom, I think it's a great thing to go into. I think it was awesome. It was, you know, a different childhood, and I enjoyed it. Sixth grade, we do a business type, figure out what you want to do in your future type job. You want to make a note of what's your dream job and then where you're going to be in 15 years. Obviously, I put my dream job as MLB baseball player. Where will I be? Hopefully an MLB star. So she came back and she gave me my paper. She said, it's not realistic enough. I want you to pick something that you think that you can actually achieve. When 8th grade year, COVID hit, that's when I committed. My first note when I saw her was, hey, I just reached one of my achievements. I think my dream's coming slightly realistic now, but I appreciate whatever you had to say for my job.
Little Birdie told me, by the way, that PJ slid off and shot a really cool feature with the Bat Bros. So look for Will and his gang hitting with PJ Morlando. Love what those guys do. So that'll wrap it. And by the way, tomorrow night you'll get to know the West roster. We're stopping right there. You only get the East. Here's what we'll tell you, though. Look ahead to what is the greatest amateur baseball weekend, especially as we preview the draft coming up the 3rd weekend of August. On the 17th day of August, on a Thursday night, our All-American Classic preview show. On the 18th, it's our Perfect Game High School All-Star Game, the best juniors against the best sophomores. I've been begging for this game for a long, long time. We'll bring it to you. On Saturday, which is the 19th, Perfect Game's Home Run Challenge will come your way. All these great players hitting homers against one another. And then on the 20th, on Sunday, at 8 o'clock Eastern, with David Ronsley and Hunter Pence as my analyst, it's the broadcast on Perfect Game TV of the 21st Perfect Game All-American Classic. That's the East roster. Congratulations to the hard work and effort of the families, the athletes, and coaches. The West roster coming up.